Hi everyone. Are you ready to do your speak out exercises? My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic solely dedicated to helping you and everyone with Parkinson's around the world preserve your speech and your swallowing. Yes, we are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic and we developed the Speak Out Therapy program. I'm going to take you through the exercises, and today we are talking about grit. Grit. How gritty are you? Have you read this book by Angela Duckworth, Grit? I'm going to show you a short video from her TED Talk, and I encourage you to watch it later. We're also going to, those of you who have been practicing with me for a long time, know that I love the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Don't worry, we're not going to spend 2 weeks on this, but our cognitive exercises are going to be about that. So we've got a really good session for you today. Let's all take a sip of water and then we'll get started. I'm wondering if you'll notice that I have a new microphone that I'm using today. In fact, I heard that Michael Jackson, when he produced Thriller, used the same type of microphone. Let me know if you can tell a difference in the sound today. We're trying to make continual improvements. All right, before we talk about grit, we're going to do the strengthening exercises, and the first one is the warm-up. Speaking out means to project your voice out, like across the street to your neighbors standing on their front doorstep. Here we go. May, no.
They can't see you.
Oh.
Are you streaming?
Do it again.
Yeah, start over.
All right, so I just found out that we were having some technical difficulties. I hope you can see me now. My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We're going to go through the Speak Out exercises. Speak Out is a program we developed at our speech therapy clinic. And today's topic for our reading is going to be grit. How gritty are you? We're going to find out. But first, we need to do the strengthening exercises. The first exercise, the warm-up. Project your voice across the room to your neighbor. Out your front door to your neighbor. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Connect those sounds and project your voice forward. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Use lots of intent. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. We're warming up the voice. I want you to think of your vocal folds like an instrument. Somebody who played an instrument in the symphony, they would practice in the morning and warm up their instrument, and in the afternoon or the evening before their performance, they would definitely warm up their voice. So you might find you need to do this several times during the day. Let's do another one. May, me, my, mo, moo. One more. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. What do you think about my new microphone? Can you tell a difference in the sound? Let me know what you think. Let's all take a sip of water before we move on to the next exercise. For those of you, you know, I got this mug from Julie, my assistant. Now you can see the S on it. because my new microphone is on this side and I'm afraid I'm going to hit it. So I have to get used to grabbing my water from there. All right, the second speak out exercise. I want you to deliberately open your mouth wide and project the ah forward. Here we go. Ah. Good. We're holding the ah for about 10 seconds. Let's do it again. Again. The sound is going in front of you. That's what it means to speak out. When you speak out, when you project the voice forward, you take a deeper breath so you expand your lungs. You move your vocal folds more. You move your mouth more. You have better facial expression. You sit up straighter. So that's what it's all about. But we focus on speaking out, projecting the voice forward. Let's do another ah. Ready? Good. One more. Okay. We have done the warm-ups and we've done the ahs. Now we're going to move on to the glides, but let's take a sip of water first with intent. And yes, this is water, not coffee. We're going to drink water when we do our voice exercises, but it doesn't have to be warm water. It's whatever you want. If you're not a big fan of water, one thing you could try is maybe fill up your cup with maybe a fourth or a third of juice and then put the rest in water. Maybe that would help you to get some more water in. All right, glides. We're going to project the ah forward and slowly glide up with intent. We're going to be deliberate. Here we go. Stop. Don't hold your breath. Close your mouth. Again. Stop. Even though you're going up and down, okay, you're going up and down in pitch, you're still speaking out. You're projecting your voice forward. Let's do it again. Stop. If you're new to speak out, we're being very deliberate and intentional. We are not just starting to glide up. So we're not going, ah. No, it's very controlled, deliberate. We're going to do a steady ah, then start gliding. That forces you to use more intent, which is what we're trying to do. Here we go. Stop. Good. Very good. I think that's enough glides. Let's get some water. We'll move on to the counting. We're going to count to 16. We're going to say every word with intent. We're going to be deliberate and project the numbers forward. Imagine you're on your front doorstep and you're projecting your voice over to your neighbor who lives across the street, and he or she is standing at their front porch. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. When you do this, you try to connect them. Connect them. Every number up and over. If you have to take a breath, go ahead. We never want you to be squeezing words out because you're running out of air. So take a breath when you need to, but don't think about the breath. Just tell yourself, I've got to project my voice forward. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're speaking out. All right, backwards. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Connect them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a sip of water. We had a question come in that I do want to answer. And if you have any questions or if you have suggestions for making these sessions better, please send me an email at intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. Let me take a sip of water, then I'll answer the question. All right, this is the question. My neurologist just referred me to a speech pathologist, and she is recommending an expiratory muscle strength trainer, a device one blows into. Do you have an opinion about this device? She is very aware of Parkinson Voice Project, but seems to use LSVT. She holds the Oz for as long as possible. So first of all, EMST, expiratory muscle strength trainer. I do not want all of you to go out and buy one of these, but I do use them for some people. So every person with Parkinson's is different. This might be helpful. It is not unusual for a speech pathologist to recommend one of these muscle trainers. But again, I would never go on and order one of these without your speech pathologist recommending it. And they're expensive. They're like $60, $70. So anyway, yes, we do use this at Parkinson Voice Project when we don't think speak out is enough. I would always prefer if speak out will do the trick. I don't want to give anybody extra exercises to do. But if the muscles seem to be really weak, then I might add this on for a little bit to get it stronger. Now, as far as LSVT, Lee Silverman voice treatment, that's a whole nother discussion. We might have to talk about that on a different day, but that is another speech treatment designed to help people with Parkinson's. It was developed in the late 80s. I used to use that treatment, but no longer use it. Speak Out was developed in 2010. There's many reasons why I do not use it. One of the biggest reasons is that LSVT focuses on loud, And I like intent better. We learned about intent from Dr. Boone. So I have found that people with Parkinson's, they want to be understood, they want to be confident, they don't necessarily want to be loud. So that's one big reason we don't use it. The other reason is that LSVT requires, no matter the severity of your speech disorder, requires 16 one-hour therapy sessions. And I simply don't agree with that. Every person is different. I've treated some patients who only needed 4 therapy sessions and they met their goals. So the key is evaluating everybody, treating them like an individual, and then recommending the therapy. Some people need more than 16 sessions. So those are 2 of the big reasons we don't use it. Now, if you are working with a speech pathologist that uses LSVT, please tell them about our grant program because they can get trained in Speak Out for free. So I'm going to ask Lena to go ahead and post the information about our grant program. Tell the speech pathologist about it. They might not know that they can get free training, and I guarantee once they learn more about Speak Out, they will enjoy it. Another benefit, our nonprofit provides a workbook to every patient in the U.S. who is receiving Speak Out. It saves the therapist a lot of time and money in preparing materials, and you also get reinforcement from these sessions. All right, we're going to move on to the next exercise. We're talking about grit today. Have you read this book by Angela Duckworth, Grit? Who wrote the book? Say her name with intent. Angela Duckworth. Here are some quotes. I'm going to share my screen. All right, let's read these with intent. Project your voice to your neighbor and exaggerate the highlighted words. Here we go. As much as talent counts, effort counts twice. So on the highlighted, stretch out the vowels. Let's read it again to our neighbor. As much as talent counts, effort counts twice. Next, greatness is many, many individual feats, and each of them is doable. If you're rushing your speech, think about it more. Use more intent. You can do this. Let's read it. Slow it down a bit. Greatness is many, many individual feats, and each of them is doable. So when you're struggling, you break it down. Instead of looking at the whole sentence, break it down to words. So watch me just for a second. I'm lifting my voice and projecting it to my neighbor. Greatness is many, many individual feats. Say it with me. Greatness is many, many individual feats, and each of them is doable. Good, you can do this. Ready? Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. Do you have endurance? Let's do it again. Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. Just think about how enthusiastic we are at the beginning of the year. We make these resolutions, and then how many of us stick to them? Okay, next one. When I get knocked down, I'll get back up. Say it with intent. When I get knocked down, I'll get back up. Every word with intent. Next one. I may not be the smartest person in the room, but I'll strive to be the grittiest. Let's do it again. I may not be the smartest person in the room, but I'll strive to be the grittiest. All right, I want to show you a video of Angela Duckworth. We're going to watch just a little bit of it. All right, here we go. She's going to talk, we'll just show just a little bit. Here we go.
One characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, And it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality.
There you go. So how gritty are you? How gritty are you? All right. Well, when I think of grit and Angela Duckworth, I also think of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. My staff and I just finished several weeks of training on the 7 habits. I think that they are critical. I think they're so important. And I think that it's not just, if you took that course when you were working before, don't think of it as something like that for careers. It's for everyday life. And these principles can be applied to managing Parkinson's. So I'm going to show you something. For our cognitive exercise, I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you, now when we get to the cognitive exercise, it's about being able to think, organize your thoughts, and speak out. So you're speaking out to your neighbor. I want you to give, these are the 7 habits of highly effective people. Give me some examples of how you can be proactive in managing Parkinson's. Name just 2 or 3 ways to be proactive. Go ahead. We're practicing thinking and speaking out at the same time. So maybe you said, I can take my medications on time. I can exercise every day. I can do my speech exercises with Samantha. Next one. Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. Say it with me. Begin with the end in mind. Okay, none of us wants to think about the end, but what is your goal? How do you want to be remembered? You have Parkinson's. How do you want your children, your family members, your friends to remember you? So answer that question. What kind of person do you want to be remembered as? I want to be remembered as somebody who worked hard, was compassionate, maybe things like that. So be that person. You can do it. Be that person. Think about the kind of person you want to be and become that person. It's not too late. All right, number 3, put first things first. Read it. Put first things first. This is so important with Parkinson's because you have so many different challenges. I hate to say that, but you do. You have lots of different things that you're concerned about. So what has to happen first? What could you do? What one thing could you do that would impact or have a domino effect on so many other areas of your life with Parkinson's? What do you need to do first? Say it with intent. Maybe you need to find a great doctor. Maybe you need to take your medications on time. Maybe you need to start exercising or enroll in physical therapy or speech therapy. Number 4, read it with me. Think, win, win. Good. Say it again. Think, win, win. Yes, we want to win, and all the people you interact with and your doctors and everybody should have the same attitude. Win, win. You want to beat Parkinson's, and you can. I've worked with people with Parkinson's long enough to know that you can live a long life with Parkinson's and a good life, but you've got to be very proactive and you've got to think win-win. What is one way to think win-win with Parkinson's? It's a hard one. Maybe win-win is about you and your wife, you both, or you and your husband. You want everybody to win. It's not just you, the patient, that wins, but we want our spouses to win too. Read the next one with intent. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Read it with more intent. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. How does this apply to Parkinson's? Think about your healthcare providers or your family, your friends. How does this apply? Say it with intent. Do your family and friends understand what's happening with Parkinson's? Have you attended our Parkinson's webinar that I conduct once a month to explain it? Have you encouraged your children, your close friends to watch it too so that they can understand it? If they understand it, it will be much easier for all of you. Next one, synergize, working together. I want you to name the people on your Parkinson's team. Who is helping you to manage Parkinson's? And I better be on that list. Say the names with intent. Working together to manage Parkinson's. And then sharpen the saw means to always be working together, working to try to be your best and to have a balance. I really struggle with that. I can work all day long. I can work a 16-hour day, no problem. So I have a hard time getting my exercise in, eating the healthiest I can, drinking enough water, things like that. So sharpening the saw is always looking and reevaluating and trying to be the best you can. All right, everybody, take a sip of water. We're going to do Dr. Boone's words and then the bonus reading. Lena is going to post the TED Talk with Angela Duckworth. I encourage you to watch it. I think you'll find it interesting. She is also going to post a playlist of Stephen Covey's of videos where Stephen Covey himself in the 1990s was explaining the 7 habits. I think it's great for everybody to do that. All right, we're running out of time, so we're going to say each word, nonsense word, 2 times. We're going to use a lot of intent and project out to our neighbor. Ready? Gula gang ga ga. Gula gang ga ga. Next. Kukamanguka. Kukamanguka. Come on, with intent. Ready? Gangla. Gangla. See how I'm exaggerating? And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. You know, these sessions will help you more if you take what you learn in these sessions and then go download the material, watch the videos, study, become the best you can. Let's go to the bonus reading. Ready? There it is. We're going to read a poem by Edgar Guest called Don't Quit. And I don't want any of you to quit. All right, here we go. Exaggerate the highlighted words to your neighbor. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, let's do it again. We're going to go that speed. Ready? When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low, but the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Say that again. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. Say that again. As every one of us sometimes learns. And many failures turn about when we might have won had we stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, and you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. Let's do this again. So stick, and we'll slow it down a bit. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. I want to thank Carlton from Winter Park, Florida. He is the one that recommended that we do a session on grit, and he provided the poem. So thank you, Carlton. I really appreciate your help. Again, if you have any questions, clinical questions, anything about Parkinson's, if I can answer it, I will. Email me if you have ideas for the session. Send ideas or ways to make it better. And I'd love to know what you thought about the microphone. Can you tell a difference? Email intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.